Yo, what's up? It's your boy J-Rock. We finally back with another episode of Planet Rock. I got my boy ReeSkee in.
What's cracking? What's cracking?
Yeah, anybody want to shout out anything before we get started?
Yeah, shout out to the shop, man. You know what I'm saying? That's my hometown. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, most definitely shout out to my people.
What part of the shop you from?
Southside.
Southside?
Yeah.
So what was it like growing up in the shop?
Man, alright, man. I know you done heard a lot about Chicago about now, so I'm in my 40s, man. Ain't really nothing changed since I was a shorty, so it just got worse, so it's hell, man, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you, man, growing up in my hood, man, you can't just go to the store and, you know what I'm saying, we tell you, love you, bro, because you might not come back.
Yeah.
That's real talk, man, real talk.
It was that bad that way?
Man, it's still that bad that way.
Yeah, so when you transitioned this way?
Man, some years ago, man, I ain't gonna lie, I lost count. But I'm always going back and forth to the crib. My kids, they from out this way, most of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, I always been in Arkansas, but the crib I probably left for the first time in my whole life, probably 25. I was 25 years old when I first left the crib. 25? Yeah, so it was 25 straight years of just being there and never went nowhere else. You know what I'm saying?
So, like not traveling and
man, none of that. Like the hood, bro, like
that's all you knew.
That was our world. That was our life. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
Yeah, so you know, we said we was gonna get into mental health today. So within that, like growing up in Chicago for 25 years, like how do you feel like it messed with you mentally? Like to this day, like how you interact with the world, cause you in Arkansas now, but I know like a lot of that stuff is kind of like still instilled into you, cause that's your foundation.
Plus I'm steady going back and forth to the crib too, but yeah, a lot of people tell me, they be like, damn nigga, like you ain't in Chicago no more. You ain't in Chicago. Like nigga, you know, this is embedded in my DNA. This ain't, you know, it's got to be in you and not on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you grew up in it, you can't just throw that away. That's who you is, you know. I know how to conduct myself around different places and people. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I got sense. But, you know, mentality-wise, as far as, like, the way I move, you know, it's a lot different, bro. You know, it ain't no lack where I come from. Like I said, you might go somewhere and don't come back home. You know, so that's how I walk in. Well, that's just how we move, man. You know? What's up?
So how you feel about, like, you know, the youth of today compared to like when you was coming up as a shorty? Like,
man, it's kind of crazy. I'm gonna tell you this though. When I was a shorty, I remember it was a time where like when niggas was even in the street serving whatever, you know, niggas was really trying to take care of their families though. You know, like, you know, jobs and things, especially in the city, wasn't like that. Not for, you know, a lot of the black young guys. It still ain't really. But the youth today, it's a lot more opportunities that they don't take, you know, chances with or whatever, you know. So I just feel like, you know, they got a lot more opportunities now that they don't, you know, they take. And I feel like, you know, man, you know, it's sad, you know, when I think about it, because I be like, man, you know, we didn't have certain things they got going on right now. You know what I'm saying? We just didn't. So I just feel like right now, a lot of things that they doing is just pointless. I'm going to be honest with you. Like when they out here warring and killing each other, bro, that it's really pointless. That don't even make sense to me. It don't make sense.
So you feel like they just doing it because it's a trend? Like
it's most definitely
they just finding reasons to be mad?
It's most definitely trend. Now I ain't gonna act like when we was growing up, we wasn't thinking certain things was trendy, but see, trendy wasn't even a thing
back then, because social media wasn't
right.
That big elephant wasn't right there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know, everybody want to be seen. Like we didn't want to be in front of the cameras, bro. Like this wasn't us right here. You would see us in front of those cameras, man. We wasn't on no phones. Even when when everybody started getting the prime codes and the Nextels and stuff, yeah, it was all about business mostly. You know what I'm saying? You make some stings, you was gone. That was it. You know, we wasn't up really caking on the phone with females and all that. You know what I'm saying? That really wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, you know, everybody know what the youngest doing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody know. Don't nobody hide nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? They just don't hide nothing, man. And like I said.
So like you feel like social media played a big part into, because like me personally, when I sit back and I think, you know, from a mental standpoint, I feel that social media kind of ruined not even just the younger generation, you know, because I'm 28, so I'm like in the middle. You know, but it ruined like everybody, because you have people on social media that feel like they're closer to people, you know what I'm saying, based off of the virtual relationship, you know. Cause like recently I got a guy, we just became friends, you know. We was talking on Snapchat, but I sent them my number because I like, hey, respectfully, if you ain't hit me personally on my cell,
right?
If we only talking through social media, I don't really take the relationship serious. Like it's kind of like it's just it's a virtual relationship and ain't So I feel we lost that aspect of life as far as that because now everybody feel like they know you're okay and all that because I'ma just go on his page or go watch his snap and that's my way of checking on him.
Yeah.
Versus what you on, what's to you, what's good, where you at,
Right.
you want a link, yada yada yada, and I feel that's the problem when it comes to the youth because they on social media and they seeing such and such got away with a murder. Such and such got away with this. And it's like, okay, cool. I know how to play it. I go, like, he rapping about his drills and stuff like that and he ain't going to jail. And I just feel like, that's the problem with the youth. And it's only going to get worse. But at the same time, I feel eventually it's going to get better with the generation after them because they gonna learn from the mistakes. Like me, I learned from your generation. I learned from the mistakes. Like they didn't have social media, but they was hustling. They was out here. But one thing they did do was take care of the kids, take care of the neighborhood. That's what we're missing too. So it's hard to kind of fault the quote unquote YNs when the ones they look up to never was doing the stuff.
See, I never fought them. I never fought them. It's never their fault because each one teach one, man. You know what I'm saying? We all learn from each other. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They only know what they was born into. You know what I mean? If they was born into a certain environment, they gonna be a product of it. That's exactly. It is what it is. They can only learn from what they got. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But like you were saying, back to what you saying, like social media playing a big part. Most definitely, social media is hypnotizing to the young, but like you said, to everybody. It's hypnotizing to everybody. What I can say, man, in order for us to get a hold on that, it's gonna take a lot of restrictions within the social media community. It's gonna have to be a lot of things that they not gonna let them broadcast no more. Like kids holding guns and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that ain't appropriate is what I'm saying. They're gonna have to put a lot of restrictions on it. You know what I'm saying? It's just so wide open now. Like we were saying back in the day, we couldn't do it, so everybody didn't just know what everybody was doing. You know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, yeah, you might thought this was cool, but that was just you and your guys. Y'all knew that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Not the world.
Right, nobody in the world. You might talk about it, somebody be like, yeah, right, y'all ain't really do that. But probably did, you know what I mean? But nowadays it's like, man, they just do whatever, man, and like you said, we ain't gonna just say the YNs, dog. I ain't gonna say that. Everybody, you right, because I even see grown guys, acting like young niggas. Like, for real, man, I'm 42, so you gotta think about it. I know guys that's 42 years old right now, man, that act younger than the youngins. Straight up. I know guys who still that old, man, think it's cool to holler at 20-year-old girls.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to me. That's why I'm gonna be honest, bro. You don't really see me floating around this much no more because it's a lot of
young people,
those in this community. And no, don't get me wrong. I don't care. The youngest do their thing. If it's their time, it's their time.
It's their time.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's like, hey, look, you old niggas, scoot the fuck over. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, let us go chill for a minute, bro. It's day lane, like for real, like So when I see. Sometimes some of the guys, I be like, man, yeah, y'all need to fall back a little bit, man. Because me personally, I feel uncomfortable if it's I got a 23-year-old daughter. All right, so you gotta think about it. I feel uncomfortable when some of them young ladies sitting there and you wanna twerk and do this. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah, I like some twerking, but I want it to be from that sexy class. Yeah, that's on my lane. Yeah, we gonna do, you know what I mean? But when we right here, I'm like, yeah, I mean, that ain't entertaining to me, bro, because like I said, I got children that age.
Daughter, like,
yeah. So
that makes sense.
So that right there alone, man, is something that we need to get a hold on to, man. Like, I wanted to speak on it too when I was talking about self-awareness.
That's a big.
See, a lot of people don't even understand who they are. They have an identity crisis. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's why some of the older guys still fucking with the young girls because they still want to be young. You see what I'm saying?
So with that, do you feel like people lack self-awareness because they never really took the proper time to heal? Because honestly, I feel a lot of that come from internal hurt. Like, because as a grown man, like I said, I'm 28 and I I still feel some type of way if I talk, you know, to a female that's 21, 22, because I feel like, you know, and I got 3 kids, you know, so I look at her like she got a whole different life ahead of her for me to even be trying to make her come into this lane of life. So
and that show your maturity.
Yeah, so like, cause I always felt some type of way about that. Older people dating younger people like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that's crazy.
So do you feel like that's more of a like internal hurt that something they never healed from?
Well, self-awareness in the beginning, it ain't just internal hurt. You know, self-awareness is just understanding who you are as a person. Period. You need to understand you.
Right.
You need to understand why you do what you do. See, that's why I say a lot of people have identity crisis because they don't know who they are. They want to be this, they want to be that. Then they end up in a situation as being a grown nigga hollering at this young girl because he felt like he might manipulate it a little bit. You know, he could get it the way he wanted. You know, but
what they call it, grooming.
I mean, I just call it plain fucking nasty.
It is.
You know, because, I mean, what you grooming, nigga, go groom a dog. That's what you groom. You groom dogs and shit. You groom your beard, bro.
Yeah.
We ain't grooming no little shorties, man. That's crazy. What we grooming them to do? Better groom their ass to go to college or something. Would you, you know, you can't be no grown-ass man out here talking about some, somebody said this before. What if it's grass on the field, play whatever the fuck the saying was saying. I ain't like that shit, bro. Yeah, somebody said, but this the first time I heard it though.
Yeah, I'm
saying, perhaps if it's grass on the field, then play or something. I'm like, yo, see, I can't be around that. That's weird.
That's wild.
You don't have no morals. You ain't got no standards, dog. You suck. You know what I'm saying? For real. You a grown ass man, you know, and I'm speaking on, like I said, motherfuckers my age. Maybe if you was, I'd probably give a pass to motherfucker who is like 33 and he probably was 27, 28 or something like that. Yeah,
it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
But come on, man. Like, nah, you can't be 40 and you old enough to be a daddy. Dog. Stop playing with me.
So my mindset when it comes to that, you know, and it ain't really the age. It more so be like the lifestyle and, you know, what she got going on in her life compared to my world. So like I said, I'm 28, so me talking to somebody like 22, 23 really ain't a problem because, you know, I'm still in the age range. But if I see like, man, she trying to go to college, you know, she got all this stuff that she could potentially be doing with her life, we won't be compatible for that. So I feel like it'll be weird for me to even entertain that. Right. So when I see people that's 40, you know, 40 that's plus, and these will be like, yeah. So it's like, what possibly could you do with this young lady besides sleep with her and manipulate her mind to be who you want her to be instead of let her be herself?
And see, that's what I'm saying. That's the real definition of a creep, bro. Like, you know, for a grown ass man to not even, like I said, have that awareness that, you know, that's weird, that's wrong, that's crazy, right? You know what I'm saying? Shorty old enough to be a father. So you lay up with her, you feel like you should be with her. You feeling like you with a shorty, I know, you're a kid, like, dude, what you doing? Like, and that's real pedophile-ish to me too. See, that's the type of stuff, those are red flags, bro. You gotta think about it. A lot of motherfuckers be people in the dark too, you know, a lot of people walk around with that mask on, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch that, you know what I'm saying? I deal with everybody psychologically. You gotta, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna let y'all know, always build a psychological profile on anybody you dealing with. Because
pay attention.
Yeah, got to, because they gonna expose who they are in time. So when this person doing something like that, you see them messing with the young, you know, you probably be like, all right, dude, you tripping, right? But when like that's something you do, you gotta think like, okay, so you 40 something messing with a 20 something, so when you was 30 something, was you looking at the 18s? Yeah. You know, like what was going on with you?
You watching them grow up, waiting until he 18.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, yeah.
So like, okay, and you feel that way, cause and it's a lot. This is like one of the biggest topics that I've been seeing recently. The differences. So we already know how the world and most people feel about men messing with younger women, you know? Yeah. But we men, right? And we like older women. So when we was 18, if we bag a 30-year-old, you know what I'm saying? We feel like we is that guy. So like, how do you feel in that aspect now? Cause it's two sides of that field.
But no, you know what I'm saying? The same thing applied though. Yeah, of course, as young men, we felt good about something. The same way them young ladies feel good about that. But did it make right for the grown woman?
Okay.
See, it was a reflection on her. Yeah, we was trying to make the moves, but yeah, we young. She supposed to be on some little dude get back. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't what's gonna happen because nowadays, I'm gonna tell you, most of these youngins got a bigger bag on them than these grown men, right? So they more infatuating to this grown woman now because yeah, he could blow a bag on her. She gonna come on. You feel me? It is what it is.
So, and like when it come to that, you know, because recently it was a Facebook post with this girl and she was saying it was something on a talk show, I guess, about somebody going through their son phone or daughter phone, finding something. And it was different. The reactions was different, you know. And me personally, I feel us as men, even young men, you know, in our early 20s and stuff like that, we the ones that's gonna be in control of the household anyway. You know, that's the standard for us.
Yeah.
So when it come to us dating older women and stuff like that, you know, I look at it different only because we gonna be the head of the household anyway. You know, versus when a man doing it, you know, you looking for that person that's gonna keep the house together for you, and you know what I'm saying. So like in my mindset, it'd be like, okay, it's cool because I look at all women, no matter the age, and I feel like mentally they all kind of be, you know, wired the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, not trying to say all women the same, but like I feel like mentally they all be wired the same way because I done dealt with women across most age groups, you know, and just listening to them talk, and they all kind of revert back to that same mindset versus like when it come to men, a lot of men have different mindsets. Like some men want to be the head of the household, and you got some men that actually just want to be bums. Why? I don't know. That's a psychological thing. I just, you know, still haven't been able to grasp. Like, but a lot of men don't think the same as much as people think we do, but we don't. A lot of men be on different time, and some men want to be in the streets. Like they got the opportunity to get out the streets, but they don't want to because you know they feel like, you know. But when it comes to women, they all want that same fairy tale.
Yeah, that's because, you know, it's like this, man. You know, I mean, we gotta first understand that women mature faster than men.
They say by what? By 18, 21, something like that?
Yeah, by 18, 21, they got that adult mindset. You know what I'm saying? Which is true. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, you know what I'm saying? 42 years of my life, I'm gonna most definitely tell the truth about it and say that they do, because, you know, I played for a long time. You see what I'm saying? Just because I was able to. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you know. And another thing, like when women get pregnant, they got to bring that baby home and all that. So you know what I'm saying? We was able to still
exactly.
You know,
the man can, you know, like that. Yeah.
So I mean, but see, that's going back to what I was saying though. You know, and I know it's crazy to say, but that's when I said like, yeah, it's a little different when a woman is dating a younger one, depending on that age, but because they do mature faster. And if she do date a guy that's younger, that's because she feel like he's strong and he got leadership in him. When a man date a young lady, that's because he feel like he got the ups on her. You see what I'm saying? He ain't looking for no leadership in her. You know what I'm saying? He ain't looking for nobody to take care of the crib. No, he looking for somebody gonna be sexy, gonna hold her down, do some nasty things to him when he need, and bam, that's that. But see, that woman, if she did date a younger one, she looking for some leadership, some strength. She see strength in him or something. You feel what I'm saying? It's a whole different mindset. So it's more like the woman can be looking for something that could benefit the relationship. But I'm gonna be honest, that guy when he dating that younger girl, he ain't looking for no relationship stuff.
It's lustful.
It's very lustful.
And looking for what he can do to make her help better his situation.
Sure. For sure. If she ain't gonna better him in sex, then what she around for? She too young to do anything else.
Exactly. And that always been my mindset psychologically. Like, you know, I got a son and 2 daughters. Yeah. And you know, like I tell people, like I'm gonna be harder on my daughters because, you know, for one, as a man, especially a black man, the world within itself isn't gonna be fair to you at all. You know, so it's like it's hard to be hard on a boy when life is already finna be like, as soon as he hit 18, life finna be hard on him regardless. You know, but this young lady, if you don't groom her right as a father and, you know, prepare her for the world right as a father, the world gonna drag her through some of the worst places when in reality the world is revolved and set up for women to be successful. You know, it's well, I ain't gonna say it is because I don't know the statistics, but from my personal experience, I know way more successful women than men. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I also know a lot of women that could have been successful if they didn't allow
a man to do it.
Exactly.
I got you.
Yeah. So it's like that's why me personally, I be harder on my daughters than my son. Like my son, I'm a man. My son gonna watch me grow as a man as he grew up. Like this, what a man's supposed to do.
Exactly.
My daughter's gonna have to look and see how a man's supposed to
treat a woman.
Exactly. So I feel like people don't understand that aspect enough to understand like, okay, this why men are harder on the girls than the boys, because the boys really ain't gonna start experiencing that adulthood till they about not even 18, probably like 21. That's when life start blissing them, man. And that's when that, you know, you just instill that structure in them and the principles and the morals to let them know like, okay, this what's going on. The girls, they gonna always look to have that strength and that structure to lean on, so you got to be harder on them, and that just be my personal opinion with that.
Yeah, you know, and you know, for the boys, you want them to be more of the strength for the families, and you know, the women, you know, they more feelings and emotions. You know, I ain't gonna lie, you know, especially as young ladies. So they draw off of what they see. Like if they see their father doing some disrespectful stuff to a woman, eventually they think that's what they supposed to go through too.
And it's okay.
You see what I'm saying? But if you teaching your sons not to be like that and your daughters watching it, they're like, oh, okay. Now I see why my daddy don't let me just do this, because he don't want me to accept less. He want me to know my worth. He want me to know that, you know what I'm saying, no, this boy can't just say this to me and I'm just going to fall in love with him some crazy. You know, I'm going to be able to recognize that. So, yeah, that's most definitely something that, in any family, but most definitely in black families with black men. So I was telling this girl one day, she was saying stuff about what she felt a black man should be like, what he should do, and this, that, the other, right? And you see that all over social media. You know, well, he should be this, and he should this to me, he should that. And I'd be like, man, you know, it's so crazy that everybody can tell you what a man should be doing, right? And it's crazy how, and it's sad to say that most of these young ladies weren't even raised by a man. So it's kind of crazy for you to tell a person what a man should be when you only going off of what you imagine.
That fairy tale.
Yeah, you know, you ain't never lived it. But because when a real man sitting there, he raised his kids and he do this, he kind of look at you like, hold on, no, that ain't what we supposed to be doing. We supposed to take care of our family. You tell me how a man's supposed to be doing something for you. No, he's supposed to be doing something for y'all. I don't get that. I never got that. So my thing is, I told her like this, I said, man, the problem is, you know, and it's sad to say, man, it's sad to say, that women nowadays, be honest, are more of takers than givers. You know, I'm just gonna be honest. You know, and I'm talking about when you. There's a lot of real men. I ain't talking about for these suckers, man.
Nah, that's an almond. That you know. Somebody I just recently had. I'm gonna get on to.
Yeah. You know, I ain't saying for these suckers. I'm talking about real men be actually doing real shit. You know what I'm saying? And they get treated the worst though. No, like they get treated bad. You know what I'm saying? So when a woman be saying what a man should be and how that all should go, I'd be like, man, when y'all get him, you don't know how to treat him. You can have one of the best ones. Dude don't go out to the club. He probably cook for you every day. I mean, you got them. They out here.
But that's not appealing because he basically on the shelf. You know, you know you got this right here. So let me go out in the field and play. Yeah. And if I could find something at least close to that, but with more value, then I'm going to just leave that behind because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's more entertaining.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's more entertaining. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said more of takers than givers, because, you know, men, we got to come, real men, right? We come in it not expecting nothing back because we was always taught to take care of. Yeah, we were taught to take care of, right? If you don't take care, you a bomb ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? So we was taught to take care of. And like I said, naturally, you know, taking care of means she's going to accept you know what I'm saying, what you doing, so she's gonna be the taker. And then 9 out of 10 times, you know, he ain't gonna really get too much back. You know, he might get some sex. And I told a girl one time before this too, she was like, she thought she had some of the best sex or whatever. You know, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? This was years ago, all right? This was years ago.
Nothing recent.
This was years ago. But no. And I was like, look, you know, first of all, you got to understand sex is more than just physical. Anybody can go and just, you know what I'm saying, get one off and keep it going. It's mental. Like, yeah, y'all got to be in tune. Now, if that man in tune with you like that, yeah. But, yeah, if it's just, y'all just trying to get one off, you don't know. And you don't know if that's how he feeling. He'll have to tell you know what I'm saying?
But in reality, like you said, we naturally give it. So in reality, a lot of times we don't even say, like, we want satisfied because, like, it's like, cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, you good? You know what I'm saying? You feel good? You got what you want?
Let's just be real. Most niggas just be like, all right, fuck it, I hit it. I hit it. You know what I'm saying? It was high, you know what I'm saying?
It's like, it don't need, because sex to us don't be, you know, like we understand it's just sex. It ain't, you know,
it's dramatic for them.
It's dramatic for the women. So
it
like,
is.
A lot of times it's like, you know, I deal with a female, I tell them, like, a lot of females I dealt with recently, like, I tell them, like, we're only gonna have sex once a month, just so I can understand mentally how it affects them, you know. I ain't gonna say I've been doing a study on them, but it's kind of like I've been doing a study on them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like,
for sure.
Cause I need to know who I'm dealing with.
For sure.
I need to know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I need to know how everything affects you, the money, the sex, you know what I'm saying, the conversation, and if we can have real life conversations, because you want that right partner, because that's how you gonna succeed. You know, you get with the wrong person and sex motivate the relationship, now that's y'all foundation. That's y'all.
That ain't gonna work.
And it ain't gonna work because that's y'all foundation. So once you get tired of sleeping with this person all the time, what you gonna do? You're gonna go find somebody else. If money the foundation, once this man hit a low point, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the foundation. But you know, I feel like when it all do boil down to it, the social media aspect be the problem, because you see people on social media following behind, you know, like a Sexy Red or, you know, Glow. Based off what they saying in their songs or what they pertain to social media. In real life, they probably don't even live that way. You know what I'm saying? They are entertainers. Yeah. They are entertaining, and a lot of times women just see that and be like, okay, cool, boom, this is what it's supposed to be. So now we have this generation of women who feel men are supposed to give, so like it's an obligation now, and a lot of people don't realize men naturally want to do that until you make it an obligation. So like once it become an obligation, it's kind of like, it don't hit the same no more. It's like you working now, like
because real men, they automatically want to. All right, when he into you, when he really into you, he want to take care of you anyway, because that make him feel masculine. That make him feel like a man. You know, that's something that's naturally in his DNA. That's what he do. You know, but when they given, like, you know, all of these different, they got a whole checklist. He should be this, he should be that, I should be this, I should be that. And then in the end, all you doing is what, gave him some sex? All right, well, somebody else will give him some sex and do more to that.
So with the checklist, you know, as a man, and you know, cause we on the mental state.
Yeah.
What is it, and not just out of women, like the woman you dating, like in general, as a man, what is it you want out of your relationships, like your homeboys, like, cause I know what it is I want to say, but I just want to see if you feel the same way. Like, what is that one aspect you look for when it comes to your relationships?
Out of everybody?
Like, out of everybody, not just the women, just everybody in general.
Man, you know, it gotta be loyalty and love, bro. You know, I don't even want you around me if you ain't got no loyalty, if you ain't got no love. You know what I'm saying? For real. And that's very important, because when you got that and the person can really see that that's genuine, then I know I ain't really got to worry about you too much, because you love me. So if you love me, you shouldn't hurt me. You know, if you're loyal to me, you should never turn your back on me.
You ain't gotta have them guards up.
Yeah, you know. But no, don't get me wrong now. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna tell you this. You always say your guards up, bro, because you going out here, and it's a war everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Your closest ones will slit your throat. So I ain't gonna never say like just let your guards down, because that ain't cool either. Always protect yourself. But my thing is, as long as I can see that loyalty, feel that loyalty and that love, you know what I'm saying? I know we straight. Don't get me wrong, I ain't just looking over my shoulder at you, but like I said, anybody can get you. So I always say your guards up. But I just want to know that if it's loyalty and love, that though, we could go somewhere with that. We could go somewhere. That's something we could work with. But what else really makes sense? Nothing else. Money don't make sense, you know?
I mean, me personally, I feel like I don't feel like really anybody, like that loyalty aspect, I feel like that's so hard, especially now with how the world is today.
Yeah.
Cause you'll feel like a person loyal, but you don't know. You know, they probably loyal on your face, but get around somebody else and you know,
they come in time.
And it happens. You know, my biggest thing with the people I deal with is just feeling appreciated. You know, like, cause I know people have flaws, and I don't look for nobody to be perfect. And I understand people fake. I understand people grimy, and I understand that, you know, and I don't even hate them for that, because they being they self.
Yeah.
You know, so I ain't even gonna hate you for being who you are. You know, I just gotta know how to move around you. But like, I love to feel appreciated. Yeah. Like, cool, you was talking about me the other day, but at the same time you gave me my flowers and you know, made me feel like, okay, the stuff you doing, I salute that. You know, I feel appreciated, because that's just like you were saying earlier, self-awareness. I know I suffer from that, like, cause I didn't get that as a kid growing up, you know. So I didn't feel important as a kid. So as now as an adult, especially with everything I do, like, that's what I look for, like, to feel appreciated, to feel noticed.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know, bro, like, you know, like, for instance, you know, you hit me about the talk show and stuff like that. It's like, I ain't posted in over a year, but you noticed it, and you own me, and I need that around, because if you don't have that, then it's easy for you to get off track and stay off track. So it's like, when it comes to like the loyalty and all that, like, that stuff be cool, but like, my biggest thing be, you know, appreciate me, give me my flowers, and reassure me from time to time, and make sure I stay focused. Like, as a man, like, who sit there and call and, you know, you good, bro? You know, what you on? You ate? How you doing? You know, how life treating you right now? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, them the type of things I look for from people, because as a black man, we don't get that.
Oh, no.
We don't get that.
You only get the calls about the bad things. That's what you don't get the calls about. You know, since something went wrong, this happened to family. But yeah, man, you're right. You know, the appreciation, I can most definitely go for that. You do want to feel appreciated, man. You know, we do a lot out here, especially as fathers. You know, we break our back for our children, our ladies, whatever, you know. And it's like, we don't ask for much.
At all.
I mean, we don't ask for much, you know what I'm saying?
It's really not too much you can give them, man.
Right, you know, we go get what we want already. Like, this is what we want this, I get that.
Too much you can just
But you know, he just want to hear, you know, it's like his lady telling him, baby, I love you, thanks for doing this, or, you know, it could be something small. You might just hung up a shelf or so, oh, thanks, baby, not no, oh, and just walk off or something. No, show me some love. I just got through, you know what I'm saying, putting this shelf up here. I just got through hanging these pictures for you.
That's what you're supposed to do, is the go-to for most men. Yeah, so like that be the thing. So like I was saying, I was gonna get onto it. I had a video shoot with a girl the other day, and you know, we was talking about givers and takers, and how we are naturally givers. You know, and the women are naturally takers, and yada, yada, yada. So, you know, we talking, and she, you know, she asked me, you know, we getting deep into my life, I'm getting deep into her life, and I'm just letting her know, like, you know, I pile a lot up on my shoulders, you know, with my family, you know, try to make sure everybody's straight. You know, I got a lot of cousins that have younger cousins that, you know, dad's not around, so I try to be that father figure for them and do as much as I can. And she hit me with, you know, well, who you lean on? you know, and that was like the first time. It was like a brain shock because she was asking me questions that nobody really ever asked for real, you know. And it's like, dang, I never sat there. You know, I never sat there and just thought about like, because I wasn't brought up to lean on nobody for real. I was brought up to get my stuff together, get on track, so I ain't got to worry about mama or grandma and all them helping me because that ain't how I'm supposed to live. I'm supposed to be the provider.
Exactly.
You know, and and then she basically was trying to ask how I was doing mentally, like, and she genuinely wanted to know, but I really couldn't respond to it because I'm like, I ain't used to people like actually caring in depth for real about how I'm feeling and how I'm doing.
Yeah, we don't get that. We don't get that as men. No, we don't. That's a whole nother lane right there when somebody really considering your feelings, because you know we've always been known to hide our feelings, and we can't show that. You know what I'm saying? That's demasculating. You know, you can't do that. That ain't what men do. But we human though. You know what I'm saying? And we go through things too. So to have that reassurance on knowing that somebody really care, it could be a little surprising to you. You know what I'm saying?
Scared,
like, wait, you care?
Why you care though?
Yeah, like, what's up with this? What's going on? Hey, y'all lock the doors. What you got going on there?
What's to this? Like, why she scared so much? Why she asking all these questions that people don't genuinely ask? You know? And it be like that, man. Which, like I said, I gotta get better at it. So, I do feel, and because we have a mom and a dad, which we got both of their DNAs. I do feel as men, we don't get to embrace the feminine genes inside us as far as like being vulnerable and because we want to be hugged. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We want to feel loved and stuff like that. Sure. But we forced to be this strong, you know what I'm saying? Like it get tiring, like being in survival mode all the time. Which I don't know if that's how you are.
Man, it is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the place that men feel they can go the most, which is home to their family, they still feel like they have to have this armor up. You know what I'm saying? Of toughness and everything. Well, you should better go lay your head down. You should just be able to relax and ain't got to feel like, you should be able to be goofy and silly and all this other stuff. But see, too much of that can be a sign of weakness to certain people sometimes. And it's just naturally that way. They don't even do it purposely. It's naturally something they do because you naturally supposed to be this masculine ass nigga who don't show that. And as soon as you show that, just because you feel like emotionally you feel like, oh yeah, I'm loving this, I feel like everybody they understand, and as soon as you do that, they might take advantage of that. So now we feel like we can't do that because there's a lot of people who done it before and got shitted on, bro. I'm just being honest with you. As soon as a nigga let his head down and he feel like he cool and he feel like he's showing their love, now they feel like they got you with your pants down now. You know what I'm saying? Because men don't supposed to show that. Well, that's what they say. Men don't supposed to show that, but why not? If you with your family, with your loved ones, you with the people who care about you the most, you should be able to show that your love, your emotions. You should be able to show that, but you can't though. You just can't. As a man, you can't. I don't know why, but you just can't.
So do you feel like we'll ever get to that shift? Because I feel men and it really don't even have much to do with the women, honestly, because the women actually want us to be that way.
Oh no, the women had nothing to do with us expressing our emotions.
The women
at all. It's the men that got something to do with it.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel men who can't get themselves to that standpoint make men who can get to that standpoint of being vulnerable feel some type. Because like especially as us being black men, I don't feel you should hate me because I'm able to be vulnerable and show my femininity. Because like I'm not, like for instance, I know my sexuality. I know I love women. You know, I'm not finna get around these men and all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they try to sassy. They try to make everything seem, oh, that's too sassy for a man. But how? You know what I'm saying? I'm a human. How?
You're right, man, because Look, man, you know, we was out kicking one time, right? And all the kids was getting like popsicles and shit. You know what I'm saying? We was at Memphis Zoo. We getting popsicles and shit. So now everybody getting popsicles, and then motherfucker like, man, no. My son, he tell me, he say, no, Dad, you ain't supposed to get that kind. And I'm like, fuck is he talking about, man? It's hot as hell out here. You're supposed to get the flat kind, you know? But I wanted to. So look, anyway, I was like, wait, so we not allowed to eat what we want to eat now? No, because that make you look, you know, and I ain't gonna just say, but you know I'm getting right. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy how food can be demasculating.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't eat a popsicle no more. The fuck? That's wild, bro. So, yeah, you can't express nothing no more. You can't express your feelings, your emotions, or your actions in any way that shows any femininity or any sassiness or none of that. You can't, not as a man, because you're going to be taken the wrong way immediately.
And where you feel like that come from? Because, like, is this, all right, glizzy, like, you know, eating hot dogs and stuff. They even make eating.
I love hot dogs.
I know, they even make eating hot dogs.
I eat the shit out of hot dogs, bro. What they talking about, bro? I used to go to the baseball games with my pops and eat hot dogs, bro.
Yeah, like.
But nah, don't eat the glizzy.
Yeah,
go on, man.
Like, and I personally don't even know where the shift came from. Because I seen this video, and this dude was like, was it a dude? It had to be a dude, but he was like, you gotta say no Diddy or something. And he looked at him, he said, hey, bro, if you gotta say no Diddy, then that mean you don't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you ain't even comfortable, cause like, I'm not finna sit here and watch everything I say because you took it the wrong way. Why are you even thinking that way?
Right. No Diddy. No, man, listen, fam, I ain't on that, man. Ain't nobody thinking about that. Why, like you say, why you thinking about that?
Yeah, why does it say your mindset? Which I don't know where that shift came from, but like as men, and
just negative trends,
and
bro.
I'm not even gonna say black men, because I keep saying black men because obviously we black men, and you know our mental health standpoint is different. You know, I don't know how it is to be a white man in America, or you know what I'm saying, anything else. But like as men mentally, what do you feel like we can do to make a shift back into the right direction? Like, cause you ever watch The Chi, the TV show?
Yeah, but I don't really watch it. Cause I tell people, by me being from the crib, I can go outside. I can go outside to go see that.
Yeah, I feel you. But like,
I get you though.
So on the TV show, they got this thing called like a men's circle, where they all get together and express themselves. Like, do you feel like in reality, bringing something like that to reality would be beneficial to men for like a mental health standpoint? For
sure. You know, see, brothership is very important, period. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's like this, you know, if y'all can't come together, what y'all doing then? Y'all gonna always be divided. You know what I'm saying?
True.
You can't make no change being separate and spread it out. And you know, you don't know what his ideas may be, you don't know what his fears may be, you don't know nothing, you know, so y'all can't get nothing done that way. So yeah, if you come together and you have a brotherhood like that where everybody can express their opinions about things, you know what I'm saying, show their point of views on how to better each other in their community, yeah, man, I think that's something we most definitely need to bring in. And I think that's what, and that ain't just with black men though.
Exactly.
That's with the community itself. Yeah. Because we don't know our community. See, we know the of the community we live in, but we don't really be knowing the people. We just see, because like I said, everybody walk around with a mask, bro. Like you don't really know people because they're afraid to express themselves.
Because they're scared of what people do once they finally get close.
Yeah, so if you could bring that type of deal in where the brothers, the sisters, and everybody can start expressing their point of view about things that's going on in school systems and households and with just things like that, period, that affect us as a people, then yeah, I think people start feeling more comfortable with helping each other and being around each other. Because believe it or not, most of us had the same problems.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
We just know how to make it look good. That's all.
Some people make it look better than others.
Yeah. See, you was out here dressing real good, but guess what? You finna go in the house and eat some noodles just like me tonight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? though? That's real talk.
I seen it more often than not.
Yeah.
And I which that's because like I look up to people like Tupac, Malcolm X. You feel me? And they just always been like one thing I had said I wanted to try to eventually do within my lifetime is form some type of organization like that come together and, you know, we go out as men and just, you know, release, you know what I'm saying? Just kick it, bowl, whatever, talk, you know, because as men we can't get that from a lot of people, and like we need that from each other, because who else gonna give it to us besides another man? Because as a man, you already know what I'm going through, because there's a great chance you going through that too.
For sure.
And I watch women side with each other on whatever. That woman could be wrong. They gonna find a reason she was right. You know, she just beat that man with a bat, busted out all his windows, slashed his tire. Oh, he shouldn't have texted that girl.
Right, what?
You know, but when it come to men, it's just like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like turn the other cheek, or man, that nigga crash out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we don't come together. I see a lot of men trying to start businesses, or, you know, trying to do something productive, and it seems like we don't uplift them. Like it was a trend that was going around. They was asking, why do we throw parties when people come home from jail, but we don't throw parties when people come home from college with a degree? You know, and it hit deep, because I thought about it. I was like,
right there.
I thought about it. I said, dang, that's true. We don't. There's a lot of people that come home from college and they just welcome them back into the community and let them get lost with everybody else. Somebody come home from jail and we trying to make sure he's set, you know. You got some bread in your pocket, and you know what I'm saying?
Like you just graduated, like you just really got a degree or something around here, bro. You just came out for like a 10-year bid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro just did 10 years. We got to make sure we but why is that? Because we'll send money. And when I say we, because I do it. You know, I got guys in jail. You know, I done had friends that went to school. You know, I had cousins go to school.
For sure.
And you know, I even went to college for like a semester, so I know how I feel. Like, it's hard to go to school, play sports, and try to make some paper at a job. So it's like, why do you feel we tend to do that? Because we'll send a dub to the prison system for bro, because he locked down, but we ain't even thinking about cuz that's over here in college.
I think it started with the people, the community being brainwashed already to be attracted towards violence and negative things. You know, we entertained by that more. You know, you don't see too much good stuff going on that you just like can't wait to go see. You see what I'm saying? But all the bad shit, you can't wait to get to it. You don't want to see a movie unless there's some killing it and some shooting, some heads getting blown off, some gangster shit, you know what I'm saying? Somebody with some bricks or something. You know what I'm saying? So in your reality, and I tell a lot of people this, people think that one's reality is everybody's reality. A reality is your perception of life, you know what I'm saying? Your perception. So anyway, that's how it happens. You know, we all seeing the same thing and we entertained by it. So in reality, that's something we entertained by too. We kind of want to see that, oh dang, little JoJo coming home, whatever, you know, you got this $50,000 chain for him. He one of them guys, you know, he is. But like you said, somebody go to college, they done got all type of degrees and all this stuff. Nobody say nothing to them. They don't even offer. Matter of fact, these guys could have been on the block their whole life, opened up big businesses and needed them to be some type of accountant or whatever, and they won't even give them a job, knowing they qualify for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. I think that it's just that, you know, a lot of us, and I'm going to speak on us, you know, a lot of us is more attracted to the negative aspect of things. I'm not going to lie, man. It's just more entertaining. It's sad to say, it is. You think you're going to see more people watching flowers grow, or people going to watch somebody's head getting shut off? That's true. You know?
You know, you ever had therapy? Because, you know, I feel like therapy is something that could help a lot of us mentally.
But yeah, I had a little therapy, man. Like I said, you know, my kids, their mom passed, so my daughter was going through a lot, bro. You know, that was new to me. I ain't never been through nothing like that, you know. So, yeah, you know, did a little therapy for a while to make sure she was straight mentally after all of that, you know what I'm saying? And therapy, be like, man, look, a lot of people like, man, no, I ain't going that, man. Look, that's why so much mental health going on out here where they having problems because you ain't really expressing yourself. Nobody ain't directing you. You know, if you ain't never been through something, you don't know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna need somebody to help you have some understanding about it. So yeah, man, most definitely have, some therapy and everything going on.
Yeah, because and like you said, I'm one of those people. I always say, like, because my job gives us like 8 free therapy sessions a year. So it's like, I be like, yeah, I'm gonna do therapy, but I never end up booking an appointment because I be like, man, I really don't even want to sit there and, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you only gonna talk about what you want to talk about, you know what I'm saying? And you might want to express some about some people in your life that got you feeling some type of way, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And and they just, they just help you deal with certain stuff, man. Give you an understanding on where you at. You know what I'm saying? You
With
ain't never
self-awareness.
Yeah, for sure. You ain't never deal with that before. You don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna help you along with that. But like I said, it's different for everybody. Therapy gonna always be different for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Just depends on what you're going through, why you there, what's your whole purpose of being there. You know what I'm saying? But I will recommend therapy to, if a person needs therapy, go to therapy, man. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? Just real talk.
So how I feel losing your kid's mom, like, so now that you make you a single father, like all your kids by the same woman?
Well, I got 2 by the woman that just passed away. You know what I'm saying? Right. Much love to her too, man. Much love. That was a good woman. Good woman, man. It affected everything about me, bro, because it's one thing, like when you with somebody, if you separate, y'all can have kids, and you can still go over there to daddy house or go over there to mama house. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still be talking about y'all single parents. No, you ain't. Y'all still parenting together. You see what I'm saying? But see, like, I'm a real deal single parent. If it ain't no me, it ain't nobody else. You feel what I'm saying? So I gotta watch everything I do now. You know what I'm saying? I don't move around like I used to at all, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't tune into a lot of stuff I used to do. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's just you and they just looking at you, it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no choice. I gotta do what's right. I gotta be here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I started getting healthier, man, working out, doing all type of stuff. Even though I was already trying to tune into that anyway, but I just got into it more, man. Just more mindful about who I am and like, man, look, I gotta keep me straight so they can be straight. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, I used to be one of the guys, sipping every day, you know what I'm saying? Even though I was just into myself, but I was sipping every day, still doing things, but I let it go, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't really drunk. I might drink some champagne or some New Bel Air or something like that, but yeah, I just let go a lot, man. Gotta be here for them, you know what I'm saying? They depended on me.
Yeah, and like, so like, which I can't relate to it, because I live on the other side of that dynamic of a father that want to be there, but we ain't gonna get into it, the bitter baby mama situation and stuff like that. So like, how do it affect like the support system around the kids? Because mama side and daddy side are always gonna be different, and one side always gonna be there more than the other. No matter how we look at it, people try to make it a debate like it's supposed to be, it'll never be equal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What I could say, everybody's supportive, man. I ain't gonna lie. I was so upset about it at the beginning, man. Like, I don't know, I was damn near crashing out. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, that
I can only imagine.
That was just shit. I wasn't ready for that. You ain't never ready for that. But like, not my kids, mama. I'm like, man. I was at a point where I was like, God, you could have just took me, man. Every kid needs their mama, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I know us daddies, we do be complaining about we don't get noticed. I'm like, all right, but hey, yo, every child needs their mama. You know what I'm saying?
That's the soul.
For real. So, yeah, man, it's weird, man. I could be at the store or something. I gotta get certain little things from a little lady or something. She might say, Daddy, I need you to pick. Whoa, wait, I gotta pick up what? You know what I'm saying? But anything I'm a single parent, and now I do it proudly. I mean, I'm a whole man. This shit ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it just
a lot of weight to carry too.
Yeah, man. But I carry it proudly though, man. I carry it proudly because she was a good woman. She raised her children to be great children. So I told her, before she passed, I told her, I said, man, I'm gonna make sure I take care of our shorties, man. Just real talk. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I most definitely told her, you know, I'm gonna finish the mission. You know, you've been a good mama to him. I can't. She didn't drink. She didn't smoke.
Dang,
You
she
gotta
straight
think about
edge.
it. Yeah, man. Real talk, man. So it was. It wasn't. I just felt like it wasn't her time. But you know, we don't decide that. So you know, even though you know I wasn't, you know, nobody never ready for it. So when that happened, you know, it was like, dang, man. And I just kept saying like, I just looked at my shorties, bro. That's what hurted me the worst. Like, just knowing like, man, y'all ain't better have y'all mama. That shit tore me up. It was like, I mean, you know, in my mind, I was like, damn, why it couldn't just be me? You know, and because that hurts every day. You got to think about it. I got a 7-year-old now too. So, you know, he's still like processing it until this day. He's still playing on his iPad or he don't. And like, it's like, I don't think he didn't process it yet. He didn't fully process. So as he grow, you know, he gonna have questions. He gonna be like, so this and that. And you know, I got a daughter. She's 11, so she was able to process it more. She knew, oh, mama ain't coming back. Mama this and it's when I seen her break down, man, that shit fucked me up, man. I ain't gonna even lie, it fucked me up. But I just had to buckle up, bro. You know, and that's the thing about. When I be, you know, like a lot of guys, what we were talking about, you know, like laying up on a woman or whatever. See, I always had my own house. You see what I'm saying? See, this the thing, like, and thank you, Lord, you know, I always had my own house. I always had my own everything. So my kids always had a room and always that. So when that happened, it wasn't like I had to go reset or something to try to figure it out. Like we had to no, it was already set. It was just that, damn, we lost mama. You see what I'm saying? So... yeah, man. So I just buckled down, man. I just had to do what I had to do, man.
And how you and it's hard, you know. You only get one mama, so it's hard. How do you feel that void? Because you know, now, like I said, I can only imagine, bro. Like that'd be tough. Like because when I do have my kids, you know, despite the situation that go on between me and their mama, you know, I know for a fact like my kids still love their mama to death, you know, and I won't ever wish nothing to separate that relationship. But like trying to put myself in your shoes, how do you feel that void of their mom? Cause
you can't, bro. You can't. You can never fill a void of anybody, mama.
Right.
It don't work that way. You know, she's that pretty much that she that everything, bro. She that everything you can't be. You can't nurture a child the way a mother can as a man. Yeah, we love our children, yeah, we there, but you can't nurture that child like a woman can. That's a whole nother love, bro. That's a whole nother understanding right there. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, when my young lady broke down, when I seen my little girl broke, it took everything from me because I seen it took everything from her. And when you feel like you can't be her Superman, because you always felt like I was her Superman, it was like there's nothing that she'd tell me or whatever, I'd do everything for her. But I couldn't do nothing about this, so that fucked me up. It was like, man, and I just seen her, bro. I had to grab her. And it made me weak. And for the first time in my whole life, I actually felt weak. And you know, you always want to feel like you got it, even when you don't. But I knew I didn't have it, bro. That was the first time in my whole life where I actually knew I can't do shit about this. Ever. You hear what I'm saying, though? Ever. So, it's like, man, I just try to do whatever it is I feel that's comforting to them. I don't even think I tell my daughter no to nothing. I mean, it's probably nothing I say no to her about, because I don't want to see her ever have a upsetting face like that. I don't care what it's about, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she get over there, I'm like, well, just wait a while. I don't say no. just give it a minute. You know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, I done experienced something with her, you know, that shit was crazy, man. And like I said, her mom being a good woman, I ain't gonna lie, that was a good woman, you know what I'm saying? Took care of her children, worked hard, bro. I mean, everything she did was for her shorties. So that's why I said I got to finish the mission. I know this is what it was. You wanted them to be the best they can be, so that's what I'm finna do.
Yeah, I respect you for that. So, we can close out with this. With that being said, there's always a debate about you can't put a man in the mother's shoes, and vice versa, how they don't feel men can raise the kids the way the mama can, and so cause you experiencing it now. So and I also have a brother, he basically, I watch him with his kids,
Yeah.
And like you say, I feel like that's one thing as men that we can't give is that nurturing.
Yeah.
And so as a single father, do you feel that is a disadvantage to you when it comes to raising the kids up?
It would only be a disadvantage if you didn't have a support system. See, like, I got a great support system, man. You like my mother, then you like, I got older daughters too. So when it come down to like my young lady, all the girl stuff always taken care of. Then my boy, my youngest boy, we the guys, so we all, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that works. But as far as like I said, just their mom not being around and just watching them having to go through what they go through, it's like I said, you would never be able to fill that void. You just never, because they'd never say the word. Bro, you got to think about it. Like, they'd never say, I ain't gonna say never, but you really never hear them say the word mama again. That's something you normally say with that person around. You're gonna hear that all day, mama, or whatever, right? Or daddy. But when that person around, that kind of fades away. That don't even become a part of your vocabulary as much no more. You see what I'm saying? So that's the part that's like, dang, man, and yeah, man, like I said, so yeah, no, you'll never be able to fill a void of that. It'll never happen. It'll never happen.
Yeah, man, we're gonna pray for you though, brother.
Much love, bro, much love.
Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everybody who sat through and watched the whole episode with us. We're gonna try to be more consistent and get more out to y'all. I'm pretty sure he's gonna come back again, give us some more content. Appreciate y'all checking out.
We gon' keep it rockin', rockin', rockin'. I hope we don't get kicked out the room. We gon' party like a rock band, rock band, rock band. Rock out in room 232. Bro told me it's some freak hoes with him. I see some thick hoes in here. I got these golds in my mouth. I got these diamonds in my ear. I need my drink cold in here. I need my shit pulled with beer. I'm running game on these hoes. I'm a cheat code in here. Yeah.